Hi guys, it's Jordan from P&P Campers. Just going to do your handover video here on your Mercedes conversion. So it's a 62 plate van, so 2012 or 13 van. So under the bonnet we've got your washer fluid over here on the left. This is your coolant, brake fluid, little ABS pump down there, so for your brakes and things like that. Engine oil goes in through here, and you should have a dipstick for that. There you go, just there. So your engine oil dipstick is that one. It is an automatic vehicle, so there probably is a automatic transmission fluid one as well, which I think is that one just there. So that'll be that. So your engine battery itself on these particular bodies sit inside the actual cab itself. So I think they're normally under the floor or under the driver's seat or something like that. So if you wanted to jump start the vehicle, you got your positive prong just there sticking out. So that's just covered up by here. And your negative is this one just here. So this is just a general negative sort of point. So if you wanted to, connect anything negative up to that at some point, that is a good earth. Bits and pieces like that, but positive, negative for jump starting the vehicle if you ever needed to. Your diesel filling point is this one just here, and it does also tell you a few bits and pieces, sort of tyre pressures and things like that, about how much weight is inside it, blah blah blah. So that's all of that, but mainly your diesel filling point. We've also got what's that? So the Daimler, that's basically your chassis plate. So that's the chassis plate for that. That tells you your weight and all that sort of stuff. In the passenger side, there's not really a huge amount of show, to be honest with you. It's just kind of the standard Mercedes bits and pieces, but I'll show you more of the cab kind of things over on the other side. You see there I've fitted your awning rail up there. Did have to spray it black because it was silver, but hopefully you're happy with it, how it looks. The roof does sit down in the gully a little bit, but it does close down properly and make a good seal all the way around, so there's not really a problem whatsoever. You can still fit the awning into that gap there, see? So that's that. I will obviously carry on around the outside in a minute, but we'll just, it's not going to be a very, very long video because it's not loads and loads to show you, if I'm honest. So this is your sort of microwave. That'll only work when your hookup cable is plugged in. Hookup cable sits on the outside underneath the rear offside, but I will show you where that is in just a minute. Got a load of storage underneath there, and in this one just here, this van's basically got 2 pumps and 2 tanks. So you've got that one there, which just goes straight up to the sink just here. So if you fill that one up, it's about 10 litres or so. You'll be able to get water coming through there. Quite literally just have to pull that, and then the water will start coming through if it's got power in it. If it's sorry, not power. If it's got water in a tank down there. I've also got 2 240-volt sockets just up there, and the USB point up the top. So the USB point will work all the time via the leisure battery, and the 240-volt ones will work when your hookup's plugged in, basically. And also that there is the plug, I believe, for this. You've got a light switch just here. As you can see, that does your nice little LED lights dotted around, which, by the way, when it's night, they are really quite nice and bright, so they are pretty good. I've tied the roof down for now because I know that you're coming to get the van shortly, but you basically tie them down from these sort of like clips just here, and then when you pull them and tighten them down, they kind of just get stronger and stronger the tighter they go. So they're really nice and strong. When you lift it up, you will also then be able to push this sort of bed part up, which gives you enough room to stand up and walk around inside the vehicle. So yeah, that's all there as it should be. Inside the back, like I was saying, you have got this other tank just here and another little pump that goes into it. So nice and simple. You've basically got what's called, this is an external water point. So if you took this little handle off, you would be able to take the whole thing, this whole part out. But it's obviously been put there for cleaning your shoes, dog, whatever, anything outside. So you fill this up, and then all you have to do, turn the pump switch on, which will then draw the water through from there to this, basically. Push the button to get the water to come through. So that's there. Underneath here, you don't really need to worry about it at all, to be honest with you. It's all sort of screwed down and kept nice and neat to one side. This is all of your sort of 240 volt stuff, and your leisure battery sits inside here as well. You can see here, you've got a new C-Tech charger. The old one wasn't really up to much, so we replaced it for this one. And you've also got another split relay. So like most motorhomes, split relay, when you start the engine up, the alternator charges up the engine battery like any car does, but because it's a motorhome, you've also got a split relay. So basically the charge that goes from the alternator to the engine battery also splits off and comes through here to the leisure, so that when you're driving, the leisure battery is being charged up as well. So that's all working, and this is your charger for your electric hookup when you're hooked up on the mains. The mains hookup point is that one just there underneath. So if you have just been driving it, just be careful of that exhaust there, because it is quite close to that. Just careful you don't sort of burn yourself on that. So that's about it for the back, really. Sliding doors on both sides of the vehicle is really nice and helpful. It means that you can probably actually get in there if you did need to, but it just gives you access to the back of everything just here. It would also help us massively being able to get to this if there was ever a problem with the pump or whatever, or the sink, doesn't matter. If there's any problems with that, it's so much easier being able to get from the back here with these little screws. Just take this piece off, it makes life much easier if there's ever any problems, which I'm sure there won't be. And the cab, let me just jump in a sec. So it's all pretty straightforward. Obviously being a Mercedes, all nice and sort of good quality, and to be honest, it all just works really, really well. Air conditioning works from that button just there, and I can tell you that the aircon works really, really well, because the last couple of weeks have been so hot that I've been having it on pretty much every time I've driven it, and yeah, it works really, really well. You've got quite a few steering wheel controls, so this is all just sort of like flicking through bits and pieces on the screen here, or this one I think it's linked up. You can answer and decline calls from here if you set your phone up to it. Lights, side lights, and then main beam. And you've also got your, I don't know if you've seen these before, but your handbrake on this one is this little foot pedal just here. And when you've pushed the foot pedal on, that sets the handbrake up. But to release it, you need to pull on this little handle just here. Just pull that out, and then the handbrake will be released. Automatic gearbox. So where you are at the top there, you're in park. So essentially, if you sat in park, there's a part inside the gearbox which just pushes over and stops the car from being able to move. Although, if just a bit of a tip, if you're on a bit of a hill or a bit of a slant, you don't really want to have it in park and leave it resting on that gearbox part, because it is just a piece of metal basically like that. So if you are going to be on a sort of a steep hill or something that you think is a bit, if you definitely want to put the handbrake on, it's fine. Like this situation here, I'm just sat here on a flat piece of ground, it's fine to leave it in just park. But if you're sort of like facing downhill or uphill or whatever, I would really strongly recommend using that handbrake, just so that you don't do any damage to the gearbox. Heating controls up here, so you've got hot and cold air up here, and where the fan pumps it to, basically. Fan speed setting and a recirculate button. You've also got rear window, bits and pieces, parking sensors, hazard lights work from that button just there. Lock and unlock the cab from inside. And then, to be honest with you, I haven't gone through and used this myself, but it's a really, really nice, good quality unit. All the paperwork for it is in the box there. So these things aren't cheap. I can't remember what the exact brand is again. I can't remember, but they are very, very good. But yeah, so you got the cruise control there, which works just from this switch just up here, and you notice on the Mercedes there's no right hand stalk at all. So your indicators obviously work from here, and to get the washers and wipers to work, you just push in on the side of it, and then they'll just start doing their thing on the windscreen. So that's about it for the cab, really. I'll just go around and shut a couple of bits up. But yeah, so I was quite happy with the way that the awning rail went on. It kind of, I was expecting it to be a bit more difficult because there's a little bit of a curve in the body there, but it's actually gone on quite nicely, so you shouldn't have any problems with that, really. The table, that can go away. You basically just lift up, where if you've undone these bits here, you can lift up there, and then this whole table will come off, and this leg just folds up here, and then you can put that wherever you want to. But you can drive with them, drive with it like this, so it's not a problem. And that's that. Right, so the van's completely ready to go, all cleaned off, habitation check has all been done, so I'm pretty sure you're going to be happy with it. But if there's anything that you think I've missed out or anything you want going over again, just let us know. But otherwise, I look forward to seeing you soon to collect your van. Thanks very much.